In order to get more investment in the asset reconstruction companies, which plays a very important role in the resolution of bad debts, I propose to provide a complete pass-through of income tax to securitization trusts, including trust of ARCs. The income will be taxed in the hands of the investor instead of the trust. However, trusts will be able to deduct tax at source. The period for getting long-term capital gain regime in the case of unlisted companies is proposed to be reduced from 3 to 2 years. Non-banking financial companies will be eligible for deduction to the extent of 5% of their income in respect of provision for bad and doubtful debts. For determining the residency of foreign company on basis of place of effective management is proposed to be deferred by 1 year. I would like to reiterate our commitment to implement the general anti-avoidance rules from 1/4/2017. In order to meet our commitments to the BEPS initiative of the OECD and G20, the Finance Bill 2016 includes provisions for requirement of country-by-country reporting for companies with a consolidation revenue of more than euros 750 million. I propose to exempt service tax on services provided under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana and services provided by assessing bodies empaneled by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. I propose to exempt service tax on general insurance service provided by under the Nirmaya Health Insurance Scheme, launched by the National Trust for Welfare of Persons with autism, cerebral palsy, mental retardation and multiple disability. To promote the use of refrigerated containers, I propose to reduce the basic custom duty by the excise duty to them from 5% to 6%. As a number of assistive devices, rehabilitation aids and other goods for differently abled persons attract nil basic custom duty. Accepting the suggestion that came from the Mr. Rahul Gandhi, I propose to exempt this exemption to the burial paper also. Customs and excise duty structures plays an important role in incentivizing domestic value addition towards Make in India campaign of our government. In line with that, I propose to make suitable changes in the customs and excise duty rates of certain inputs, raw materials, intermediaries, components, and certain other goods, and simplifying procedures as to reduce cost and improve competitiveness of domestic industry in sectors like information technology, hardware, capital goods, defense production, textiles, mineral fuels, mineral oils, chemicals, petrochemicals, paperboard and newsprint, maintenance, repair and overhauling of aircrafts and ship repair. Details of these changes are given in annexure to the budget speech. Measures for providing a pension society. Pension schemes offer financial protection to senior citizens. I believe that the tax treatment should be uniform for defined benefits and defined contribution pension schemes, pension plans. I propose to make withdrawal up to 40% of the corpus at the time of retirement tax exempt in the case of the National Pension Scheme. In case of superannuation funds and recognized provident funds, including EPF, and the same norm of 40% of the corpus to be tax-free will apply in respects of corpus created out of contribution made after 1/4/2017. Further, the annuity fund which goes to the legal heir after the death of the pensioner will not be taxable in all three cases. Also, we are proposing a monetary limit for contribution of the employer in recognized provident and superannuation fund at 1.5 lakh per annum for taking the tax benefit. I propose to exempt from service tax the annuity services provided by the National Pension System and the services provided by the EPFO to its employees. I also propose to reduce service tax on single premium annuity insurance policies from 3.5% to 1.4% of premium paid in certain cases. Measures to promote affordable housing. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana embodies the assurance of the government to address the housing needs of all, and more specifically the poor, in a time-bound manner. Construction of housing creates considerable employment opportunities as well. In order to fuel activity in the housing sector, I propose to give 100% deduction for profits to an undertaking from a housing projects for flats up to 30 square meters in the 4 metro cities and 60 square meters in other cities, approved during June 2016 to March 2019 and is completed within 3 years of approval. Minimum alternative tax will, however, apply to these undertakings. For the first home buyers, I propose to give a deduction for an additional interest of rupees 50,000 per annum for loans up to 35 lakhs sanctioned during the next financial year, provided value of the house does not exceed 50 lakhs. Another proposal to stimulate housing activity is to facilitate investment in the real estate investment trusts. I propose that any distribution made out of the income of the SPV by the REITs or the InvITs having specified shareholding will not be subject to the dividend distribution tax. It is proposed to exempt service tax on construction of affordable housing up to 60 square meters under any scheme of central or state government, including the PP scheme. I also propose to extend excise duty exemptions presently available to concrete mix manufactured at sites for the use of constructions at such sites to ready mix concrete. Additional resource mobilization for agriculture, rural economy, and for a clean environment. Dividend distribution tax uniformly applies to all investors irrespective of their income slabs. This is perceived to distort the fairness and the progressive nature of taxes. Persons with relatively higher income can bear a higher tax cost. I therefore propose that in addition to the DDT paid by the companies, tax at the rate of 10% of the gross amount of dividend will be payable by recipients, that is an individual, HUF and firm, receiving dividend in excess of 10 lakh rupees per annum.